Now, recently, you and a delegation of local leaders traveled to Alabama to take a look at Huntsville's amphitheater that was built on the site of an abandoned shopping mall. What did you learn on that trip that can be helpful for your plans to build a 10,000 capacity amphitheater at the Macon Mall?
Well, it's very valuable to go to Huntsville in general, not just only because of amphitheater, because we have seen they have seen tremendous growth in that area through aeronautical, through space, through security, those types of things we can learn as well. And also, at the time that we decided we were going to do the Macon Mall development there, we really didn't know about Huntsville and how they had utilized a particular area of their mall. They tore down the mall there. That one site they have, and they've secured about another 40 acres around there, about 120, 140 acres. Not only do they have an amphitheater there, they have a Top Golf, they have a Dave & Buster's, they have a Trader Joe's. It's really growing there in that area. But some of the things we learned is that in the building process, it was important for us because we're beginning to finalize the details on selecting a contractor and an architect for our product that we're going to have here. And we certainly still hope to have a groundbreaking in this month, in February, upcoming month. But one of the things we learned is ingress and egress is important. Security is important. The back of the house is important. You know, we all see the nice things out front, but really to attract that entertainer to that venue, you have to meet their needs in the back of the house. The certain size of the green rooms, the fact that they may need a kitchen or a patio there. They like to have commercial washers and dryers to wash their clothes there, or other materials that you don't really think about when you think about booking a band. And also the relationship on how you select someone that's going to book the venues for you, and how much of that should be community, how much should be generating financial, reward. We also learned about their expectations on cost as far as things are going to cost for that site to compare to ours, and how much to expect revenue coming. We looked at some of their impact statements that they have on revenue and how it impacts the community. So it gave us a broad area to look at. Not just the amphitheater, like I said, but their entire community on how to build a better relationship and how to design things. It was well worth the trip. I'm glad we did it while it was still in progress to see. They won't be opening up until May. They probably got about 100 days before they're open that venue there, and we want to see it from from where they started at and to where they're going to finish at. So it gives us some things to do to make sure we don't make those same mistakes, to live and learn from the lessons that they've had during this process. So we're very excited about it. It's certainly going to happen. I think ours is probably somewhere closer to 11,000 capacity as opposed to the 10 that we started out with. And we're very excited in the next several weeks to start rolling out the next plan and finishing the process that we started. But we're certainly going to break ground in February this year.
And you signed a memorandum of understanding with Georgia Mobility that has an interest in developing a personal rapid transit network of gondolas that would loop between downtown and out to the mall and such. Do you think that there's really a feasibility for something like that in the future with your plans for the amphitheater?
Well, it's certainly something that I think we can't rule out. We don't want to get people excited about the Jetsons and all of a sudden going from one location to the other, but there's some technology that exists in the world, and they've had it at a couple of places, and I think Macon would be certainly a great market for that. We looked at downtown Mercer. We looked at joining the Macon Mall to your downtown corridor. Certainly wouldn't bear any cost for ourselves or Macon-Bibb County, but there's a company who has the capabilities of doing that, and you have to migrate all those things with GDOT and certainly security issues and licenses and things of that nature. But it's kind of like a rail, but it's in the air. If you go to Disney World, you'll see that, kind of that concept. I know they've had them on some cruise ships. I know at least one place in the United States and a couple of places outside of the United States, they've had these same pods where you get in there and you go on a rail in the air to your next location, and it will drop you down. It may be something of the future. It doesn't cost us any money to look at it, and certainly if they're willing to spend the money to develop a small section of our community, it could be a great attraction for Macon-Bibb County as well.
And of course, the Urban Development Authority is moving forward with kind of plotting out potential pickleball courts in the old Belks location. And the transit authority's on notice that county employees are going to be moving out of Terminal Station. So how are plans developing for what you see the mall becoming?
I think we're off to a great start. We have, in the process, we did an RFP for designers for design and build for 35, 36 pickleball courts at the former Belt Matthews to see if it's going to be feasible there. and what the cost would be associated with that. We've already met with some national organizations to look at the economic impact that you'll have, because it'll bring 800 to 1,000 people in at a time over a 4 or 5 day period of time if you host a national event. But to do so, you got to have the certain amount of courts, the quality of that court, the height, and the amenities that go along with it. So we're very excited about that. It could be a huge economic impact. It's also going to be a 365. It'll be rain or shine event. And that's something that we can guarantee someone, that you don't have to worry about lightning, you don't have to worry about rain. It could be cold, it could be hot. It can be a very attractive venue that probably nowhere in the United States could build a venue like this. And but for our special circumstances with having this gift at the mall, it's something that is probably wouldn't be affordable from the ground up if you had to build it. Moving the offices is something that we're steadily working on. We have a couple of new announcements of some new offices that will be locating there. We'll talk about those in the very near future, and I think something that's going to that the community on the West Macon side, Southwest Bibb County, going to certainly like. There's a couple of things they lost in the past that we're going to bring back. I think it's going to be an asset to our community all across the board, and we're looking forward to that area growing a lot in the next 12 to 18 months. I've already met with the Presidential Parkway owner. We've been discussing on the telephone plans to redevelop that area there. They purchased that in the recent months. He'll be traveling to Macon, and we're going to go through and meet the people he needs to meet here. We've got some very good, aggressive, out-of-the-box ideas for that community there, some retail, some other. And I'm looking forward to working with them. They're managed shopping centers similar to this all across the United States, and I think they're going to have that credibility and that reputation that they can bring some retail to that area that's going to help the entire area. So we're very excited about that.